I'm ready to piss off a whole bunch of people. Go ahead and scream at your screen while I talk to you. This is the smoking gun that we've all been looking for. Here it is, clear as day. The GDC developers, and I use very heavy quotations when I say that word, developers, take to the fields outside the building to scream into the abyss because of, what? Oppression? Frustration? The entire weight of the industry crashing down on them because it's come to light that they aren't needed. They don't understand that the stories that are being written are from actually talented individuals and not a bunch of equity diversity hires that have to include them. Uh-oh, the tables are turning. I don't even think I gave my intro at the beginning of this. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, or unsubscribe if you can't take the truth. And check out smashjt.com for my full article talking about this situation of developers over at GDC. And it's something that I spoke about in one of my previous videos. I'll link it above me right now, about how GDC is exposing this diversity, equity, inclusion group of people and what they actually stand for. I thought something was a little off in that previous video when I was talking about feminist frequency and how they were giving a presentation about how to become uncanceled once this group of people have canceled you. And oh, by the way, they charge for you to get into it, so you have to pay to find out how to be uncanceled by the same people that canceled you. Fun enough in itself, but then we dive a little bit deeper to find out that there's a lot of this diversity, equity, inclusion stuff at GDC 2024. According to Grums on Twitter, he shared someone's status talking about how 15% of the conferences at GDC 2024 are DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, or DEI related seminars from Yonky Kong, stating that there are about 55 talks on diversity and gender in this GDC 2024. Inclusive design, gender gap, Afrofuturism, Afrofantasy, LGBTQAS+ debate, cancellations, and control of toxic communities. 15% of the conference is focused on this. How the hell is this sustainable? This is what we're dealing with in gaming, where these people that stand for DEI don't care about gaming. They care about implementing their influence and changing it to fit their desires instead of what the actual artists and developers behind these games want to create. And by doing so, it's destroying the game industry from the inside out, rotting it to the core. And I stated on Twitter, mental illness is a real thing and it needs to be acknowledged. This is Exhibit A for that. When it's enabled by society, it mutates into this. This video was obtained by Twitter user Learning the Law at Manga Lawyer, where they posted Western game developers screaming at GDC 2024 against GamerGate, patriarchy, and the industry. Totally sane behavior. No wonder they end up making female characters look like vegan gremlins. The West has fallen. And many people in the comment replies have taken basically the same stance that I have with all of this ridiculousness. Learning the Law replied to himself stating, "Why the heck are there people with masks yet in the middle of a beautiful sunny day out in open space? RGT85 looking to get himself canceled by participating here. Oh, the sound of the perpetually offended by normal people. Hope more layoffs come to games media. These are not gamers," according to Eric. And we have one here with Snow White. "What if we take all those screeching developers and put them here? Snow White in a padded room. This is such a happy place. Clown world indeed, man. Independent gaming sure has heavy competition. These are people we're fighting against. We will be fine. Uber-based gaming, same energy. No! Very relatable and mature behavior. No wonder they're all finally getting fired." And probably my favorite one here, and has a much deeper sense to it. Did they scream at SBI and the industry as a whole for being racist and sexist too? No, because that road only goes one way. You have to accept what these people want you to think. And if you think anything else, you are the bad guy, you are canceled, and you are no longer accepted into society. It's kind of done a complete 180 where they used to be the oppressed people. They've gathered together, gotten society to accept them, and now they're trying to cancel normal people. And normal people talking about this feel like they're taking crazy pills because it's so straightforward that it's hard to understand how they have any influence whatsoever in the entire industry. Until you look a little bit deeper and you see how the US government in particular and the Canadian government, among many others, are paying for these institutions to pay these people to push and propagate an agenda. And that in itself, like I've stated many times, is the crux of the entire issue. And until that gets resolved, this is not going away. We're going to deal with GamerGate 3, GamerGate 4, GamerGate 56. It's never going to end as long as the funding keeps coming through. We have companies like Take This, the initiatives that only take the stance of this offended community that's just perpetually offended. And if you don't see things their way, you're the asshole and you're the one that needs to be canceled. But don't worry, like I said, they got a thing for that. They got a seminar that they can train you how to be acceptable of them, and maybe they'll let you back into their community. People are saying that Sweet Baby Inc. is the biggest problem here, but a part of me wants to at least acknowledge that thanks to Sweet Baby Inc., it exposed all this BS going on behind the scenes that people were wondering about for the longest time. It gave people a reason to dig, do research, find out about the government funding behind it, find out about the people running these shows. And now we have more information coming out, just like Grums on Twitter posted about proof that Sweet Baby Inc. ruins games. I'm sure there are people wondering about when I said, oh, the storylines are ruined. Here's one. SBI game Flintlock by A44 Games have been overrun by woke. I used to work there. Flintlock was a good project with lots of potential. Then it was ruined. And he followed up saying, before I go any further, please note this is a rumor from a source that seems very knowledgeable about the studio's inner workings. Take that as it is. If others would like to verify, please DM me anonymously. The CEO and COO at A44 are no longer with the company, but the damage seems to have been done. The good devs at A44, I tell you how to fix it at the end of this thread. Did you know that protagonists of Flintlock used to be white? When COO and casting director Andrea Tobbs-Harjo joined the studio, her first actions were to change the character to hire Sweet Baby Inc. and change the main character to a person of color. This marked the beginnings of the problems with the game studio. Andrea Tobbs-Harjo is rumored to have the company's funds and manpower to power her personal agenda and projects on initiatives not related to the game or even the studio itself. One such initiative that I found is Inclusion FX, a VFX company and advocacy company with shades of Sweet Baby Inc. Here's a bio from the company. She held this position at Flintlock at the same time she ran Inclusion FX. I asked and confirmed. Yeah, I have witnessed our UI artist making art assets for its website as their sprint tasks. Aside from working with Sweet Baby Inc. and making changes to the game, Andrea also directed numerous changes in HR in her role of COO. In 2021, most developers were denied raises and evaluations were postponed for at least 6 months. Andrea told HR to inform anyone who complained or asked questions that the reasons is because I said so. She also ordered HR department to hide the salaries of the top execs of the company. HR tried to help, but were unable to get past this. The team was worried about studio finances. Meanwhile, the new hires and changes to the game resulted in a project where these people know nothing about how the video game is made. And this thread continues for a very long time, but end of the day, right there is exactly what I'm talking about. That is the absurd reality that people are dealing with, not just in gaming. This is more of a social thing that's going on far beyond gaming, but it's really hitting home with me when you start to see storylines of games being impacted and people that have no idea what the hell they're doing with games impacting the storyline and destroying the company from the inside out. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the situation. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with my take on this, and you're more than welcome to. I feel like that's kind of the whole point of YouTube, is to have a balanced discussion and discuss things, and maybe there's an angle that I haven't considered. I don't know. So far, I've made a few of these videos, and I haven't seen one yet, but I'm always open to listening. If you want more information, check out smashjt.com for my full article breaking down this ridiculously ludicrous video and these insane people that have been given a voice because they've gotten together and gotten funding from the government. You gotta think there's something deeper going on with all of this. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.